I watched you, talking on a bunch of different interviews today, and you said, burn it down. You said, burn it down. It's time.
I said, if this country doesn't give us what we want, then we will burn down this system and replace it. All right, and I could be speaking figuratively.
Okay.
I could be speaking literally. It's a matter of interpretation.
Well, I interpret that as you want to fight the country and burn it down, a la the way a Marxist would. Right. Well, champ, bring it on. You heard it from the horse's mouth. They want a war, essentially, if they don't get what they want.
We will burn down this system.
That's always good to, get your way by making people do what you want. And if they don't, well, burn the whole system down because, reasons. BLM leader, if you don't change what happens, then we will burn the system down.
We will burn down this system.
Again, they can try. And whether successful or not, I doubt it. But that seems like an open invitation to war. That would violate many different sorts of terms of service on really anything. But is Twitter, YouTube going to stop these people from promoting themselves on their platform? No, because it's they have the right skin color, so therefore they're allowed to say these things. Now, if I were to say something crazy like that, which I wouldn't, by the way, I would be deplatformed and depersoned pretty quickly. But apparently they pass through a special membrane, unlike the rest of us carbon-based life forms. The president of the Greater Black Lives Matter said that if the movement fails to achieve meaningful change during a nationwide protest over George Floyd's killing by Minneapolis police officers,
we will burn down this system.
Great. What are you going to set it up with? Oh, that's right. Marxism or something else. From this chucklehead, if the country doesn't give us what we want, then we'll burn this system and replace it. All right? And I could be speaking figuratively. I could be speaking literally. It's a matter of interpretation. Hawke Newsome said during an interview Wednesday evening on The Story with Martha McCallum.
We will burn down this system.
Well, now you say it both ways, figuratively and literally. I'm going to take your word for it that you want to do it. And you will try to take the system down, whatever that entails. Now, I do have to say this for myself as a veteran of the U.S. military, the Army, for over 20 years. I guarantee you that if you and your ilk try this, taking the system down, someone's going to have to step up. Now, at first, hopefully it will be the government, where the government sort of steps in and stops this crap from happening. However, if it gets out of hand, there may be some people out there in the United States that may not like to go along with your plans. Because I don't know what taking the system down means or burning it down. That sounds violent. And we do have many amendments in the Bill of Rights to counteract your violent tendencies, if you will.
We will burn down this system.
Continues on. Let's be very real, he told Fox News host. Let's observe the history of the 1960s when black people were rioting. It wasn't just black people. We had the highest growth in wealth and property ownership. Think about that the last few weeks since we started protesting. You mean rioting, but that's neither here nor there. There have been 8 cops fired across this country. And a lot killed, by the way, too, but you don't want to mention that because reasons. He said in past incidents involving fatal encounters with citizens, police officers are always allowed due process, but when people begin to destroy property, things change.
We will burn down this system.
What is the country rewarding? What behavior is it listening to? Obviously not marching, but when people get aggressive and they escalate their protest, cops get fired. Republican politicians talking about police reform, he said.
We will burn down this system.
Yeah, they have to, because even I agree that police do need some reform, but taking the system down,
we will burn down this system.
That's not good because you're going to replace it, according to the BLM's charter, with Marxist ideology. I don't like that. I don't condone nor do I condemn rioting. And there you go, Twitter and L YouTube. He says he wants violence. So are you going to ban him off your platforms? Oh, that's right. No, you'll ban someone like off Twitter, like Carpe Donkdom, and you'll get rid of someone like Gavin McGinnis because he said something like this. But you won't ban Hawke Newsome because he passes through a separate membrane where Twitter won't do this, or YouTube won't do this, or Facebook won't do this. He's actually promoting violence. But you guys won't do anything because, well, you'll be racist if you decide to ban him off your platforms. This guy is promoting violence. But what are you doing? Allowing this. It's amazing. It's amazing the abject double standard. You can taste it. And I say this word a lot. It's palpable.
We will burn down this system.
McCallum asked Newsome what Black Lives Matter hoped to achieve through violence. Wow. Quoting from Hawke Newsome.
Burn down this system.
It's interesting that you would pose that question like that. Okay, let's go back up here. I don't condone nor do I condemn rioting, which is violence. Wow, it's interesting that you would pose a question like that, Newsome responded, because this country is built upon violence. Really? 100% violence? Okay. What was American Revolution? We tried peace and it didn't work. So it wasn't built upon violence. It was built upon diplomacy at first, which didn't work. What's our diplomacy across the globe? We go and we blow up countries and we replace their leaders with leaders who we like. So for any American to accuse us of being violent is extremely hypocritical. F you, Hawke Newsome, you piece of human trash. How dare you? You know, it's people like this that want to destroy this country. And he's admitting to it. He wants his country destroyed because of things that happened in the past. Because I wasn't alive during the American Revolution. Was Hawke Newsome around during the American Revolution? No, he wasn't. So how can he equate the same thing? It's not the same thing. He's equating violence of today to push a political ideology. He's not looking for reform according to the Black Lives Matter charter or mission statement. He wants violence to promote Marxism, flat out. And I guarantee you he's being trained by trained Marxists in the BLM if he's not already fully trained.
We will burn down this system.
Newsome said the movement is about saving lives. Okay, well, let's talk about the Chaz or the Chop, where 4 people have been shot. I think 1 person has died. So, what is it? You are promoting violence. Stop lying, Hawke Newsome. Nobody's talking about ambushing police officers, but that's happening. We are talking about protecting lives, which it's not. There's nothing more American than that. Yeah. However, he's going to destroy what he just said in the previous sentence with this sentence. We talk about uplifting and upholding the Second Amendment. No, you don't. Because Marxism is not about uplifting and upholding the Second Amendment. It's about reducing our liberties so you and your ilk can have power over the rest of us. I think you should be applauding me, seeing how you guys are huge supporters of the Second Amendment. What do you mean, you guys? That's a racist statement, Hawke Newsome. How dare you, racist? But it seems to be hypocrisy of America that when black people start talking about arming themselves and defending themselves, that talk is violent. Nowhere have I ever said, or do I ever even heard within someone's voice of saying that we can't let black people arm. Of course you can. It's a Second Amendment. They can arm as long as they're not a felon or breaking the law in any way. They can, and I hope they do. But when white people grab assault rifles and go to our nations, their state capitals, it's all good. Yeah, idiot, Hawke Newsome, you stupid dunce. They didn't break the goddamn law, you piece of human trash. As their interview concluded, Newsome added, I just want black liberation and black sovereignty by any means necessary.
We will burn down this system.
What does that mean, by any means necessary? What does that mean? What kind of talk is that? Oh yeah, that's right. That's Marxist ideology. That's black liberation theology or ideology. So they want their own sovereignty. Well, what does that mean? I have my own sovereignty. You have your own sovereignty. But what does that mean by when you frame it as black sovereignty? What does that mean? What are you trying to tell me? I have an idea what you're trying to tell me is that you want to, I don't know, put me in chains, put me in jail, re-education camps. You want me re-educated in the Marxist ideology. I say, F you, Hawke Newsome. F you right up your cornhole, you piece of human garbage. No way. And it's amazing that I may get banned, I may get silenced off this platform or whatever because I'm saying this. And I'm not saying that. This guy is saying he wants open revolt and violence against people who he does not agree with or if he doesn't get his way. He's saying he wants violence. And what is YouTube going to say? Nothing, because they're freaking cowards. They'll ban somebody like Gavin McGinnis. They'll move someone off like Alex Jones, whether you like him or not. But they'll allow an a-hole like this piece of human garbage on here and on Twitter promoting violence, wanting violence, extolling violence. It's amazing that we're here at this point in this country to where we have platforms that say this is okay, this sort of talk is okay, but if I condemn this sort of violent talk, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I'm wrong for wanting peace and prosperity. And I don't want violence, but I guess I'm wrong for going against a piece of human trash like Hawke Newsome is. He wants violence. I do not. So what if he brings violence to me? What am I supposed to do? That's a question for another day.